I want to talk to you guys about Apple. I think that Apple has recently been putting itself on a different trajectory than it historically has been, and I'd love to hear your feedback on that. So I think historically Apple was a company that didn't want to cut corners. When netbooks were becoming very popular, they publicly said, we're not going to sell a netbook because we don't want to skimp on quality, and we can't get a high quality machine into the price tag of the netbooks at the time. And, people thought, oh, they're crazy, blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out using netbooks was not enjoyable. But the reason why they didn't want to sell a netbook, I don't think was solely because they needed to have $1,000 plus machines and that was it. I think really what it was they didn't want to sell a product with low quality components that would be required to get to that low price tag. I think Apple might be on a different trajectory now, and it's a little bit concerning. So what do I mean by that? Look at the iPhone SE. That's the new phone out from Apple. I think it's actually a very appealing device. But why does it have a first-generation TouchID sensor on it? And also, why does it have a 1.2 megapixel FaceTime camera on it when the 6S has a 5 megapixel front-facing module? The supply chain already has these components being made, the second-gen TouchID, the newer FaceTime camera. Why did you use older components for that? Similarly, on the iPad Pro, 9.7, first-generation TouchID. Also on that iPad and the iPhone 6 and 6S, the camera hump. Why did you need that? I mean, you could argue that it's about getting everything into a certain design size, but what it seems to me is you compromised. You weren't willing to make the best product. You decided in advance what you were going to do, and you fit something else into it. Seems like you're kind of cutting a corner. I think the most egregious example, though, is on the Retina MacBook. The Retina MacBook is their flagship computer. It's been updated in 2016, and I think all the laptop lines will converge and take a lot, particularly in the design department, from the Retina MacBook. It's gorgeous. But how can you be shipping in 2016 on a flagship computer that starts at over $1,000, a 480p standard definition FaceTime camera? It just doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense to me. And, I don't think any of these issues are things that are going to cause someone to not buy that device, that MacBook, that iPad, that iPhone. But it seems like the Apple of the past, if they had high-quality FaceTime cameras already being made, they weren't going to take a flagship device, or the iPhone SE, if you don't even want to call it a flagship device, and just use an older component that's not as advanced that they've already replaced on their newer devices. It just doesn't really make any sense to me, and I think it's a very scary look into the future. Is Apple going to continue to say, here's one new feature, here's one new component, and we're going to put it in one product and that's it, and we're going to ship newer products, and we're not going to put that component in there? It seems like they're cutting corners, and it doesn't really make any sense. Apple is this company that's built on having a very strong brand name that's quality. That's what you think. You think of quality, all the features working together, high quality components across the board, and unfortunately that's not what I'm currently seeing from Apple. It might be anomalous when later in 2016 or next year, maybe we're going to start having remedies to this, and that's something that's only temporary. But I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below on this issue. Thanks for watching.